Hey hustlers, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new, please click that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. We talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about personal finance, we talk about self-development, and we have a bit of lifestyle going on here. So please do subscribe and stick around so you get notified every time I post a video. So today I want to talk about things that I wish someone had told me before I got my first car, and I want to talk about things that you should consider before buying your first car, especially if you're going to be going the second-hand route and you are a bit confused, you're not sure what to do, where to start. I'll be going through some 7 tips that I would place very important and very highly when you are deciding on what car to get, and so on and so forth. So if you want to find out what these 7 things are, then of course keep on watching. And sorry about the lighting, we are sitting in a different place today, so the sun keeps going in and out, so apologies for that. Okay, so the first thing is to define your budget and needs. You want to make sure you know what your needs are. And I say needs, not wants, because you can want a car that is way above your budget and you can't afford, and something that doesn't make sense for you and your lifestyle. But if it's a car that you need, you will be looking for certain things in it. And starting with your budget is very important. I have a whole video about budgeting with a budget template. So if you don't know anything about budgeting, you don't understand the concept of budgeting, then I'll leave the link of that video down below. Please watch it after this video so you are clued up about what budgeting is. But before buying a car, you need to start with the budget. You need to start with your needs. Look and see realistically how much can you afford to pay for your car. And when I say pay for your car, I'm not just saying the car installments. I'm mentioning car installments, I'm mentioning petrol, I'm mentioning insurance, and I'm mentioning saving to emergency fund. When, for example, you get into an accident and you need to pay access from your insurance, will you be able to have that amount of money available? So start with your budget. Sit down and go through your budget and be realistic about what you can actually afford. And when you go into your needs, look at a car that you actually need. And by need, I mean it is fuel efficiency important for you, because maybe you'll be traveling far from home to work every day and you need a fuel efficient car so you don't spend so much money on petrol. Maybe you need a car that is going to be safe, you know, because you're driving on a road that's more prone to accidents, or whatever the case is. But you need to be realistic about your needs, not your wants but your needs. And you need to be realistic about your budget as well. What can you afford? Car installments, insurance, petrol monthly. If a tire bursts and you can't be fixed, you need to buy a new tire, and tires are not covered by insurance. Can you be able to afford a tire of that specific car that you want? Tires vary from like 400 to in the excess of thousands. So you need to have a look at all of that, and this is the very important step to start at. You need to start there and get it done. Then the second one is to do your research. Research. Once you've found, okay, I can afford 4,000 Rand for petrol, for the car installments, and for the maintenance of the car in terms of tires, changing the oil now and then, and all of that stuff, and you have available 4,000 Rand, do your homework. Look at cars that fall within your range. Ask friends who own that specific car, how well does the car run? Does it give them major issues? How often do they have to take it in to be serviced? And all of those questions, ask them. Go on Google about the car. Find out as much as you can about the specific car. Watch reviews, you know, so you know so much about them, so you can compare different cars based on your number one step, which is need and your budget. Then the next thing is to research about the maintenance of the car. This is very important, especially if you're buying a second-hand car that doesn't have maybe a motor plan, and you want to research on how easy it is to service this car. Will you now be needing to be importing parts outside of the country, or you need to be like you are based in Durban but this car service history or the place where you can service this car is based in Johannesburg, so it's going to take 4 to 5 days before certain things can be shipped down here or moved down here or transported, you know, like there's a lot of things to consider. So research about the maintenance of the car. How easily is it to maintain this car? And if you were to get a motor plan, if it is a second-hand car, how much would that cost? What would the motor plan look like, and what would that deal be for you? Is this something you can afford? over and above the 4,000 rand that you'll be paying towards this car, research, know all the information and all the important things first before. So if you notice here, all these steps are you before you even go to a dealership, or before you even contact anyone to buy a car, you are doing the background work first before you get yourself into that situation. And that just saves you so much stress, so much confusion, so much information from different people all the same time. I mean, when you go to a car dealership, the salesman is trying to close the deal, so he's going to tell you all the nice, fancy, great things about the car. But if you don't know important things about the car, and you don't know like things about the maintenance of it and car service history and all of that stuff, you can get yourself in a situation that you can't get out of by making an abrupt decision because you're not well informed about the process of getting a car. So research about the maintenance, find out everything you can. How easily accessible is it to service centers and all that stuff. Then the next one is to visit reputable dealers. Now, by visiting reputable dealers, this is, you can look up and see if a dealer is reputable. This is just to safeguard you for buying a car that's not registered, buying a car that's stolen, buying a car that has no clear service history. So by going to a reputable dealer, you are able to kind of eliminate all those risks. Obviously they still can be there, that's why I say a reputable dealer. Look them up, search them on the internet, see if they are registered, see if anyone knows about them. You know, if you've never heard about them, find out as much information you can about them before you make that decision. So when you visit a reputable dealer, they are well established, they, you know, have good serviced cars, they've got a car with a clear service history, and everything of theirs is up to date in terms of that car, if it is a second hand especially. I'm going to speak more about secondhand because I have a secondhand car, and all of this is more of my experience with the secondhand car. I think it will vary with a brand new car as well, because there's not much of a service history there. It's a brand new car, so there's not much background information that you will require, but it is still important to go through these steps if you are even looking for a brand new car. And like asking questions like, has it been well maintained over the years? When you go to the reputable dealers as well, they will be able to pull up all the information and give it to you so you can have a look through it. And also, if you're not clued up about cars when you are going to reputable dealers, go with someone who knows quite a bit about cars, so they can be there to assist you when they say something you don't understand. They can ask the question of, what does that mean, or, you know, what do you mean when this is like this, or whatever. So you're just a bit more comfortable and you're a bit more well informed throughout the process. Then the next one would be to ask the right questions. Once you're at the dealer, ask all the right questions from your research. Remember I said research, ask friends, go on Google, ask all the right questions. And by asking all the right questions, ask like, are the tires replaced? You don't want to buy a car, a second-hand car for example, with tires that are not replaced, and you now need to replace the tires, you know, and there are no threads on the tires anymore, and they are a risk for you to drive that car. So ask those questions. Are the tires replaced? Have there been any recent repairs on this car? Has this car been on a major accident? Are the fender benders okay? All of those questions. And yes, it can be overwhelming, especially if you're someone who doesn't know anything about cars, but that's why this video is here for you, to help you to understand that it's very important to ask the right sort of questions. And this is a mistake that I wish someone had told me in terms of getting a second-hand car, especially if it doesn't have a motor plan. There's a lot that you can get overwhelmed by when you are in the process of owning this car and you didn't ask the right questions from the beginning. So yeah, ask the questions like, has there been any serious accidents? I mean, if the car's been in a serious accident, where have there been major repairs to the car, so you are aware and know that, okay, this car has had a major problem here, this is how this problem has been fixed, so you are aware going forward in future as well. And then the next thing is to consider extending the warranty if it is a second-hand car. Extending the warranty is so important because certain motor plans don't cover a mechanical failure. And by mechanical failure, I mean anything that has to do with the gearbox, anything that has to do with the engine, and all of those are very expensive things to fix and repair. So just ask, if you are getting a motor plan, make sure you understand what the motor plan covers in detail, and would you need to extend the warranty on the specific car. And extending the warranty just assures you and covers you if there's a major thing that needs to be fixed in the car. You don't need to be forking out 50,000 rand. You can just have to fork out maybe the access of the extended warranty or whatever it is that you need to fork out, which is a better amount to be taking out at the end of the day than the actual full total amount that would be required. And then it's still in the warranty. I mean, there are different warranties. There's one that covers bare essentials, and then there's one that's more comprehensive. So just be sure of which one you are taking and what is exactly covered in the specific warranty. I had a warranty, extended warranty on my car, and it covered my car until a certain mileage. So I found that out quite like a bit late when I was going through my contract, and I was like, oh my word, it only covers a certain mileage, it only covers certain things, like certain things are not covered. So it was very important for me to be like, oh my word, this was taken out, and I actually didn't really pay attention to the finer details. So please make sure you pay attention to the fine print and the terms and conditions, because you know they can catch you out. Then the next thing, and the last and final step, is to take your time and be prepared to walk away at any time. Take your time, don't rush the process. If you at any point feel like you're being overwhelmed, this is becoming a bit too much, and you think you can't make a decision right there and then, it's fine. You don't need to make a decision abruptly, because you don't want your car to be a burden. You want it to be a convenience to get you to from A to B conveniently, and you want to enjoy your car, and you don't want it to be a stress, and every time you see it you just feel upset and you're just not happy about it. Take your time. Don't be overwhelmed by the salesman at the service at the car dealerships. Make sure you ask the right questions. Make sure that you know exactly what's going on, and should you feel like you want to walk away from the deal, you can walk away. Be prepared to walk away as well, so you don't feel pressured to make a decision. I hope all of these steps really helped you kind of gather all your thoughts and put things into perspective for you in deciding what car to buy and when to buy your car, and what things you should consider. Please let me know down below if any of these were helpful to you, and which step do you think you'll be looking out for more of the 7 steps that I've mentioned. And as always, keep on hustling, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.